Good evening, guys. Christine Lopez here, and I have a special guest, Steve Cunningham. Steve, how are you doing this evening?
Doing great, doing great.
How is the weather?
Sickening. it's like 19 right now, man, with
Oh
with
my
ice on the
gosh.
ground. So I'm hating life right now.
Well, yeah, it seems like the whole world's kind of going crazy. I'm in Colorado right now, but I'm from Texas, and the stuff that's going on back home is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. I hear in Texas I heard the mayor just went nuts.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Everybody's going nuts. It's insane.
Yeah,
Well, the other day I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw a tweet that you had tweeted, and then I went to the article, and it was talking about you being accused in the past, and I don't know if it's
yeah.
now, of injecting your abs. Let's talk about that. What's going on with that?
I mean, you got some of these fans and just even some boxing like podcast people. I've never heard this while I was like fighting and being a world champion, um about have using PEDs or injecting anything in my stomach.
Yeah.
But recently it's been like a thing, so I post a lot of pictures of me, after fights, in fight, in action shots, and
Sure.
they've there's like a bump on my stomach. Like I'm sure I'll have it now. Like not even that little bump right there, and they're
Yeah.
saying it's a it's an injection mark, and I'm like, it's not. It's like a vein or something under my skin,
Right.
but
Right.
I've been out the ring 3 years, and it's like I'm injecting something in my stomach still. Like I mean, at all? Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if I
I can
was,
see
would
if
I
you
still be
were
doing it?
gonna fight and they were like, "Oh, well, he's gonna fight so and so," and but
Right,
it looks like I could see that, but obviously, they still have your name in their mouth, and this is like,
right. Hey, that's good for me. That's good.
right,
Keep it
right,
that.
it
But
is,
for what I believe, it's just like I said on Twitter. It's these guys who sit around and eat bonbons and candy all day, and their wife's looking at the picture of an 8 pack and wondering. And this guy would be 45 this year, wondering why they don't why wondering why her husband doesn't look like that. And then he's on steroids. It's like, come on, man. Like, no,
yeah,
I
it's
work my butt
insane,
off
right,
and
right. No,
still
you
do.
do, you do. And I was talking to somebody the other day because whenever Canelo, was accused and found guilty in 2018, then Mia St. John had come out
Yeah.
and she said, yeah, give him a break. Everybody knows that everybody in boxing, does PEDs, and everybody knows about it. And she did it her whole career. And I was thinking, I don't think that she could speak for everybody. Do you
No,
remember
she
that
can't.
comment that she made?
I saw that article and I went nuts. I reposted it. I'm like, no, everybody does it. Everybody does it. I know fighters who don't. I came up with Chris Bird, guys like that, and me and him, he put me on to the fact that many top fighters, many world champions, many elite fighters, majority were using. And I was like, get out of here. And he just started knocking off names. Boom, boom, boom. And he knew a guy because he lived in Vegas at the time that was supplying the drugs to the fighters. So, you know, I would run names off for you right now, but we have to do that off the record. But
Definitely.
it's a shame, it's completely a shame. But and I know I fought guys on the stuff. I know I have many times.
It is a shame because it's literally life or death. I mean, one of these guys dies in the ring,
Right.
from a guy that was juiced up, and then what? You know,
Exactly.
are they found guilty for manslaughter, or is it just
Right.
part of the boxing game?
Right.
Um,
That was
and,
my
and
thing. Sorry.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was my thing when after I fought Tarver. I fought Tarver. Before I fought Tarver, I was really vocal about if he fails the test, I'm going to press charges for attempted murder or manslaughter or
Right.
assault and battery. And the media ate that up, and he failed the test after our fight. The fight was called a draw,
Yeah.
which was ridiculous, but
Yeah.
because his star power, he has superstar power, and he is a
Mm-hmm.
superstar. But he failed the test, and he started going off about it's the Illuminati. And this is his. He was what, a year off of a 2 year suspension, or
Yeah.
no, a 1 year suspension. So this is his second time failing in 2 years. And I have a great lawyer, John Hornerer. He's Vladimir's lawyer, Floyd's lawyer, and John was like, hey, they looked it up. Him and another lawyer, they talked, and they basically came back to me and was like, listen, you're not going to be able to press charges, because what injuries outside of the normal boxing injuries did you
Right.
incur? And it's like, what do you mean? What normal? What's normal after a fight? Because I've had a bent bone in my face. I've had
Mm-hmm.
cuts, swollen this, swollen that, and they're basically like, uh, death or coma. You know.
Oh wow.
So until that happens, until a fighter is put is killed in the ring, or put into a coma or some serious injury like that, nothing's going to really get done about this epidemic, this pandemic in boxing.
Yeah, which is such a shame. I have a question from Guadalupe. Guadalupe said, "What's your opinion on the current rules of PEDs?"
What do you mean by the rules? Like the current rules. I know there's something about this certain amount is allowed in some instances, and
I don't know.
really,
Maybe the suspension time. I mean,
okay,
so
that's
Canelo was what, 6 months?
yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think about that?
It's all about money. It's all about money.
Mm-hmm.
Canelo's the mega star. He's the mega star now.
Yeah.
He failed the test. In my world, he should be taken off the pound for pound list.
Right.
He should be suspended for more than 6 months. He should be fined something crazier than I think it was like 100,000. Like that's a spit in the bucket. That's a
I
little
agree.
spit in the bucket to that guy. So that's an endorsement for him. It's nothing.
Most
The,
definitely.
right. So the any for me, like I said about Tarver, any big fights that he won, this dude fell twice.
Mm-hmm.
So the Roy Jones KO has to be questioned. Yo, man,
Mm-hmm.
he was extra powerful. He stopped Roy. When he stopped Chris Johnson, when he stopped anybody, you know, his whole career is under question to me. Same thing with Canelo. It's like, bro, Mexican meat. Like, come on now, bro. Mexican beef, right? It's a bunch of nonsense. So he shouldn't even. And when people ask me what's my pound for pound, Canelo isn't on that list because in my world, bro, your stuff's tainted. At least he shouldn't be on the pound for pound for like a year or two, you know,
Right.
until he passes test after test. But outside of that, it's crazy.
So, what do you think about if everything was on a level playing field, and they're like, you know what, there are certain things you can use to enhance your whatever? What would
Yeah,
you feel about that?
legal or illegal?
That they said you could they would make some things legal that you could use, and everybody could be on a level playing field, but we couldn't go
Well,
beyond
I'm
those
I'm cool with
parameters.
that. I'm completely cool with that because it's like we all know, it's full disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
Not not
Right.
I think I'm getting in there with a guy who worked hard just like me, a
Mm-hmm.
normal human being. Like we're already superhuman. Speaking of the
Right.
comic book,
Yes,
we're
we're getting to
already
that.
superhuman uh when we train and build our bodies up. So now you mean to tell me a superhuman now is getting more super by taking something, by taking
Right.
performance enhancement drugs. And me and some other fighters have said it. Listen, let us know what can be taken. Let us know.
Sure.
Let us all be on the same playing field because
Mm-hmm.
that shows you who's better. Skill set, drive, hunger. But come on, man, you're being sneaky.
I
Don't
agree.
underhandedly have me thinking I'm fighting a normal guy like me, and
No,
you're on
I totally
you're on
agree
that
with that.
extra stuff.
I do. Yeah, full
Right.
disclosure, like you said. I have a comment. Angel Castro, he said Steve is a bad dude, and I have mad respect for him.
Thanks, Angel.
Absolutely, definitely. So before we move on to the next subject,
Yep.
what message do you have for some of these boxers that are using pets? Like, what do you have to say to them?
Oh, boxers that use pads, you're cowards. Period. You're cowards. You should quit boxing. You should do something like go make Play-Doh or or traffic direct traffic or something. You're not built for boxing. Boxing, this is a man's sport. A real man works his butt off, pushes, and gets stronger by hard work, not
Absolutely.
illegal performance enhancement drugs. That's just not it, and again, in my shoes, in my world, I would never use anything to help me, illegally performance enhancement that would help me be better because and then that wouldn't at the end of the day I wouldn't feel right. I
Right.
wouldn't feel right with all of those belts, all that money. I wouldn't feel like I earned it properly. That's just me, it would
Yep.
eat me up. But
Yep.
some guys can be grimy. This is I always tell people when we talk about this, I'll be like, listen, you got to look at it like this. You have a guy off the street. Most fighters are from the ghetto. Most fighters are from broken homes. Most fighters are from, broke, low income, low
Mm-hmm.
budget homes. So, dudes out here killing each other for $20.
That's
So
true.
you don't think a mug's not going to take a performance enhancement drug to make millions, become a world champion, get fame and money?
That's
Come on,
true.
this is the world we live in. I mean, I knew about this world since I was a kid out in the streets. Dudes will put a cap in your face for $20.
Yep.
So there's hundreds of thousands of millions on the table. If I knock this dude out, man, give me that. Give me whatever that is. I'm gonna take
That's
it,
true.
and we gonna get this money. So
Yeah, unfortunately, it is the world that we live in. But I love the message that you put out, and I totally agree with you. If you feel like you have to do that extra illegal stuff, then this is not for you.
right, you're a
For sure.
coward,
Real
man. A
talk.
pure coward. And
Definitely.
I'm pretty close friends with Big Baby Miller. And
Yes.
when he fell, I was very disappointed, and I said something out loud about it, I sidebarred him, and
Uh huh.
he but then he came, then the second test came back and he fell, or I think he fell the second time,
Yeah.
and but then he came out and made an apology. He confessed, and that
Right.
showed me something. It's like, all right, okay, I'm still able to still be cool with him, but
Absolutely.
you have these guys who are taken. There are a lot of fighters that we know are taken, but it's like until they get caught or until they say something, they're gonna keep on looking super, and it's all good, it's all good because
Well,
like Chris Bird told me when he first explained to me the amount of fighters that was on back in 2006. He was like, man, he was like, I fought numerous guys on the juice, and he's like, and I beat them. I can beat them.
mm,
He said they can be beaten. That don't make them
yeah.
invincible, but they can be beaten. He said you just gotta be smart and work at it.
Absolutely. So I have another question. Ask
Yeah.
Champ, does he have any good stories about fighting in Germany?
Man, I have a few good stories. I have a bunch. I'll tell this short story about brother Nazim. Rest in peace, brother.
Yes.
He, my wife's my manager, and we were signed. We were promoted by Sauerland Promotions. So their main guy, their runaround guy was called Hagen. We flew into Germany. We will always get flown into Germany probably like 9 to 10 days before the fight to acclimate to the time, which never happened. We never acclimated to the time,
Yeah.
and right, you know what I mean. That never
I know
happened.
how it is.
So we get there, and they wanted us to immediately go do this like interview blitz
Oh.
and this media blitz, and we were dead tired. That was a 9 hour flight. We
Mm-hmm.
were dead tired. So we went up to the room and laid around. And Brother Nazim's thing is the fighter is the most important. Steve, go get some sleep. Forget this crap.
Yeah.
We could do this tomorrow. And I went and got some sleep, me and my wife. And then my wife came down and Hagen was getting with her. Hey, why you didn't do this and why you didn't do that? And so he was like really nasty with my wife. And Brother
Oh,
Nazim, he put his finger in my wife's face. And Brother Nazim saw that and ran up on him and did he punch him, Libby? He almost punched him. He gripped him up by his shirt like, and like, yo man, you don't talk to her like that,
good for
because
him.
people fail to realize, me, brother Nazim, our relationship was different than his and B Hops, or any of his fighters outside his sons. We were like family. I
Yeah.
mean, in between fights, we went to the movies together. He came to my house, we chilled. We would have rap nights. We just do stuff. He was like a big brother to me, and so he saw this guy pointing his finger in my wife's face, and he went over there and gripped him up, And my wife was like, she never seen that dude. She never seen any man run as fast as that dude took. He took off, and brother Nazim was off behind him, about to
That's what he
kill him.
got. That's what he
So
got.
then my I woke up and my wife, they told me, my wife didn't want to tell me because she know me. I and I'm like 3 days away from the fight. Oh no, I'm sorry. We just got there. But I'm ready to rumble. And they tell me what happened. And I saw the dude and I had blood. I was on my way down the steps and they all grabbed me like, Steve, no man, you gotta fight. I'm like, man, you mess with my wife like that. So that's one good story, man. I have a few, man. One day we're gonna write the book. It's gonna be
Absolutely.
nuts.
It's gonna be great. And speaking of your amazing wife, I love her, by the
Yeah,
way.
you see her walking
She
around in the
Hey
background.
Livy, she is a go-getter. She
Yeah, she
is
is.
beautiful. She is amazing. Like I
She's the
love watching
bomb, man,
everything
no
she's
doubt.
into. And both of y'all together, I mean, power couple, you know. I want you
Yeah,
to talk
we
about
hear
your
that a
gym.
lot, man, and we accept it. You know, we're making moves. You know, we're doing
Yes.
things to always moving, man, moving and shaking, always doing something somewhere.
Yes. Talk about so I saw recently that now she's coaching. I saw her doing some mitts in the gym. Talk about the gym. Talk about what's going on in there.
Oh man, so yeah, uh, past 3 years, we started USS. Right after my fight against Sabiti, we took that money and opened our own gym. And it's been our dream, me and my wife's dream, to have our own gym because we we met in the gym in Atlanta. You know, we met in the boxing gym in Atlanta, and just it's ever since then we were like, yo, we want to have our own gym. You know, and we finally we're here in Pittsburgh, in the Pittsburgh area. It's like, hey, this is home now.
Yeah.
Let's get the gym. And she found the building, found a nice building. Uh, we got the equipment. Now I have amateurs. You guys know I have full team of
Yes.
amateurs. My
Yes.
sons are well ranked in the
Very
nation.
talented. Yes.
I have other guys and other kids that are coming up, trying to get them those fights so we can get them to the nationals. I have my first or second girl. My first girl, she won a national title, like one of the small national titles, the Burt Sugarbird tournament, but then
Yeah.
she just don't want to box anymore.
Oh.
But this girl I have now, Abby, she is a workhorse. I mean, oh my goodness. So I'm very excited with her. But about her. But the gym's doing great, man. We do kids youth boxing, like gym boxing class. That's our bread and butter. Man, we had
Yes.
about 30 kids, 40 kids. Before COVID happened, we were up to about 40 kids. And then
Wow.
COVID hit, and we kind of had to start from scratch again. That
Yes.
hurt us. Like, we're still recovering, but we are setting up for our first boxing show at our gym, March 13th.
Oh
We're having our first
wow.
show.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, and
Congratulations on that.
the funny part about that is neither of my sons are matched.
Oh really?
Right, it's crazy, right? So we're trying to get them matched, but I'm like, oh, our first show, at least one of my boys
I
get matched, but
know.
it's
I
cool.
know.
It's
Well, are
cool.
y'all going to nationals? Are y'all going to go to the USA Nationals?
Yeah, that's the reason. That's the main reason we are doing the show. It's
The
like it's
show,
a
yeah.
fundraiser. You know what I mean?
Get
We
them
gotta get
ready.
that money up,
Perfect.
and because COVID kicked our butts, man. We tapped
Yeah.
over here. We
I hear
tapped,
you.
and so we're doing. We always do fundraisers though, regardless. Just to help supplement. But this is a serious one because we want to get. I want to get my son Junior, Steve Junior, because he's 18 now. He
Yes.
just This will be his first elite tournament. Him at the
How
tournament as an elite
exciting.
fighter, and he's moving up to 152. Everything's
Okay.
kind of wide open right now. So this is where
It
the bar gets
is.
set for the next level of guys. So
Yes.
hoping, we're not hoping, we're believing he's gonna get in there and just do something.
Absolutely. No, I will definitely see y'all there. I'm
Yeah,
taking off from camp to take some of my guys there, and I'm excited. That's great.
yeah,
Your son
yeah,
is so talented. So
yeah,
I would
man.
love to work with him here in Colorado. That'd be great.
Yeah, I used to, I had a love hate relationship with Colorado, because
Yeah.
I won the national Golden Gloves, but I was never on the USA boxing team. I did get the whole bag and the outfits because I was scheduled to
Yes.
go fight in China
Uh
in
huh.
1998, the year I won the Golden Gloves to fight in the World Cup, but I wasn't able to make it. But
Oh.
so I really couldn't make the USA team. But when we get to Colorado for the U.S. Nationals, that's when it was staged there every year, and
Yeah.
It'd be like,
Right.
man, the USA team, the number one and number two guys, they've been here 2 weeks or whatever. They've been acclimated, and we get up there and we sucking for air.
I know.
I hated Colorado, but then I loved it.
Yeah, once you get used to it, it's great. But
Yeah,
I'm the same way. When I first get here, I'm like huffing and puffing up the stairs, but then we get okay. But
yeah.
lastly, I want to talk about this comic book thing that I've been seeing. What
Oh
is that
yeah, yeah.
about?
So the comic book, man, that thing's like been 10 years in the making. I've always heard, oh man, you ripped up, man, you cut up like a superhero, and I'm like, and I draw. Art
Oh,
was my major in high school.
uh huh,
So my last year, my 12th grade year in high school, I had art right after lunch, 3, 4 periods in a row. That was my major. I was scheduled to go or planning on going to the Philadelphia Art Institute or the New York Art Institute, but I was in a single parent home. My mom working her butt off. She never went to college. She didn't know how to she didn't
sure,
know how to tell me how to fill out this paperwork for financial aid or do this or portfolio. So my art teacher tried, and he's like, Steve, get your portfolio ready. And I'm in no understanding of what's going on, just drawing Batman and Superman. And he next thing I know, it's April, late April, and all my friends are getting acceptance letters into this college, that
uh,
college, this art college. And I'm like, where mine at? And he's like, you didn't send anything out. And I was like,
oh,
yo. So from there, I joined the Navy for college money, and then I,
right,
I started boxing in the Navy, and then we're here.
yep,
But I never stopped drawing. I would always draw in training camp. I just always scribble and doodle. So after one fight, I fought the former WBC champ Wayne Braithwaite, and
hmm,
after that fight, we vacationed. We went to Vegas. Me and my wife stayed with Chris Bird and his wife, and that's where I came up with the idea of, hey, I'm gonna turn me into a superhero. So this is
wow,
2009, and
wow,
I would just draw a little something, making up the characters. By 2013, it was, hey, I'm gonna make a comic book. And I did like I was working on my story, and it wasn't even I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get it out this year. It was just,
yeah,
let's just mess around with it and see
right,
where it goes. So over the years, it transformed, and then 2000, I'd say 17, 2016, I got serious. I got real serious with it, and I decided to do 2017 instead of my origin story first, to do Steve Cunningham versus Hardcore Mansoor, because we just had a serious fight in 2014. It was like it's a Rocky story for those who you need to check that fight out. USS
definitely,
versus Hardcore Mansoor, and so the comic book, it took me like 2 years to finish it. In all actuality, I could have been finished one comic book, but I drew about 90 pages in those 2 years.
wow,
I drew a graphic novel, so I broke it up into 3 parts.
uh
So
huh,
we just came out with the first part. Literally, the first part was available last week,
oh
and it sold out,
wow,
man. I
that it
I
sold
had
out,
50 comics. I ordered 50, and boom, within a week, literally like 4 days, all of them were gone. So we kind of did like a package, because I had a lot of those posters from the fight, from me and Mansoor's fight. So
uh
we put
huh,
the poster in the comic book autograph, set that at a little higher price.
wow.
Autograph comic and just a regular comic, all 3 different levels of pricing. But people ate it up, man. I love it. I love it. I'm very surprised, man. I mean, I put a lot of work into it, and I totally believe
Right,
the work you put in is going to pan out. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
it did, man. And
Well, it's ironic to me how even as kids or younger people, we have this desire and this passion, and life happens, and it doesn't look
yeah,
like it's going to happen the way we thought, and then it just comes around and it's there
right,
again.
right,
You know that's happened with me
right.
too in some things, and I love it. I think it's great.
Thank you. Yeah. So I've got 2 more parts to put out. By the end of March, part 2 will be out, and then part 3 will be out. Now the dope thing about this comic book is, first, it's all drawn by me, yours
Yeah,
truly. Thank you.
it's dope.
And
Yeah.
second, in the fight, in the comic book, the action scenes are literally action scenes from me and Mansoor's fight. You know, it's
Wow.
dope. And also, lastly, is a lot of the people in the comic book are from Philadelphia's, boxing, news,
Yeah.
boxing. just backgrounds, just people, like I've got Mark Abrams in there. He's a reporter. Daryl Cobb, photographer. John DeSanto, he started Philadelphia boxing history. He starts the awards. And I've just got people in there, like real life people, man, just to make it, to make everybody in Philly feel like, yo, this joint hits
That's
home, and
fabulous.
it's dope, man. So I've got plans for USS Comics. You guys can check it out. Instagram on every platform is USS Comics. Um, I've already asked Danny Garcia, can I do like a short origin story on him? He was like, go ahead, bro. Austin Trout, I'm working on his comic book next. I actually have pictures of that. His is like for a third done. His is gonna be the next one that comes out, and it's my goal to just do comic book stories on fighters and turn them
This
on
is
into
going to
superheroes.
blow up.
Right.
Nobody's doing this. This
Yo,
is
right.
huge. It's
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, man. So I'm trying to now that I've got the first comic book out, I know PBC, who
Yes.
I'm with Al Heyman. He's my man. He's my agent. I know they were interested in me doing like a short for some of the fights that were coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna hit them back up like, bro, look, and they follow my comic book page too, so they see the work. But I'm gonna hit them up and be like, hey, we in. Let's do business now.
Yes.
So we'll see. But I have plans for USS Comics. I have horror stories. I got so much drawing to do. I need to bring on some more artists.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's fabulous. So tell us again, how can we order these comic books?
So just go to USS Comics on any of the platforms. Instagram mainly is the main one I use, but Twitter, Facebook, especially in the bio is the link to the comic book. Right now, the part one is in pre-order mode now because we sold out that first 50. I'm ordering like another 25, and I'm finishing up part two, and that should be done by the end of March. And then part two is going to hit. When part three hits, I'm going to put all three together in a graphic
Okay.
novel. You know what I mean? So that's going to be dope, and I'm going to have it singularly by itself too for those who already have one and two and don't want to spend that money. But we've got man, I've got pictures I'm drawing, like I'm painting, it's memorabilia. It's gonna be dope, man. I'm so
Pretty
excited about
soon
this.
you're gonna need another building to like do all your
Yeah,
comics
I'm
and
with
your
that. I'm
artwork.
with that. I need that.
Yeah, I think that's congratulations.
Thank you.
And tell us about this show so that you can get a match for your sons. Like tell me the
Yeah,
date
right,
and tell
right.
me what's going on.
Yeah, so our show, USS Fight Academy, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook. We're doing our first show March 13th in North Versailles, Pennsylvania. It's about 7 miles outside of Pittsburgh. We got hits from everywhere, Chicago, Texas, because there are no shows. Everybody wants to fight. So we're doing about 17 bouts. My son, who's 18, 152 pounds, he got about 60 fights. He doesn't have a fight. My 10-year-old who was number one in the
So
country at
cute.
8 years old. He's now
Yeah.
10. Of course, COVID, we skipped a full year. He can't get a fight. So we would like, if you guys got a 10-year-old that's 75, that's 80 pounds. Come on, man. Holla at us. Holla.
Fabulous. I love it. No, I thank you so much for your time. I really do.
Ain't
And do
nothing.
you have any last words or shout outs for anybody?
Any last words? Just stay true to yourself and true to your talents. I I I took up boxing. I took up boxing. I was an artist, and I love to fight though, and I kept boxing. I started boxing, doing my love, but I also loved art. I love drawing, and I'll be 45 this year, and man, I just put
Spring
out my
chicken.
first comic book. Man, it's never too late, man. Stick with
Never
what you
too late.
love.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll send my love to Livy and the family, and I will
I
definitely
will.
see y'all at nationals.
Yes, yes.
Thank you again. Y'all have a
All right.
great night.
Yep, you too.
Thanks.
Take it easy.
Bye.
All right.